Hey guys, King of Charmander here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you a former #1 top team. Former #1 all the way back in Season 7 when Talonflame first released. And it is here. It is the Talonflame XL, Abomasnow XL, and Umbreon XL. Triple XL is incredibly powerful in Open Ultra League, and this was the former top team before #1. I like this team a lot just because there's a lot of fancy things you could do with it, and because there hasn't too many, like I've always mentioned, Open Ultra League is probably the most solid meta in all of Go Battle League because there are very minimal things that change that make drastic changes. Now, as you see here, this has a great team overall, despite the fact that literally since Season 7 Talonflame has been out, this team has still had a B's across the board. Still does really well against overall top meta picks, as you see here in a lot of top meta teams, and there's a lot of options you have if you lose the lead with Talonflame. Obviously, as you see here, Melmetal is one of your worst nightmares. There are ways you could beat out Talonflame or Melmetal in the lead, and it's like nuts at what you could do with it just because of Talonflame's ability to essentially, if Melmetal has 0 shields and you flame charge, you hit through, it will KO or nearly OKO. So like at like half HP, you'll be like it's dead if you hit it with 1 flame charge. But Melmetal's a rough lead, but if you watch my previous times using this team, I've been able to play out of them. Still a decently low threat score despite the fact of all the changes that Ultra League has gone through. Like I said, there's minimal things that affect Open Ultra League as far as its meta goes, but you had things like Trevenant that essentially ruined the entire meta. The good thing is, guess what? Trevenant loses to Talonflame, so this is great. So, for my mental health tip for the day, actually it's pretty interesting. So, trauma. So, this is probably something we should talk about. So, there is a lot of trauma going on in the world, and in fact, 99.9, actually all of us have been through some sort of trauma because of the coronavirus pandemic. There's something called adjustment disorder, which basically means if you're performing low in school, or, well, school performance is one of them, but if there's been drastic changes to, like, your ability to adjust. For example, like, for junior high school kids, it's mostly been about, like, school. So if you have a drop in school performance, or if you were struggling with in-person learning, and you were doing well before the pandemic hit, you probably have adjustment disorder. But like I mentioned, most of us had it. I probably had it too at one point, because going from long distance back to physical in-person learning took a little. It didn't take long for me to adapt, but definitely like wearing masks and everything like that. It's getting used to a society where this is the norm again. All of us has probably already had adjustment disorder at one point, just because of coronavirus in general. If not, all of us are practically traumatized by that and everything that's gone on. So there's a lot of things going on. Take care of yourselves. And again, be aware, if you feel like you're adjusting terribly, get yourself checked out, go see a therapist, or go see your primary care provider. Insurance is a powerful tool, and normally they do give free counseling sessions / therapy sessions for a set amount of time. So check it out. I'm a therapist, so I'm telling you, this is some good stuff. Yeah, I'm the only, like, therapist in Pokemon Go PvP that creates content, so do it. It's good for your health. Anyways, this team is good. It is a former top team, and it still does really well to this day. I hope you guys enjoyed these battles. Let's get started. Alright, so here are the battles. We got Talonflame and the Charizard. And this is kind of rough depending on what fast move this Charizard has. And it's Wing Attack. And this is actually really terrible for us, because with Wing Attack, that means this Charizard has a pretty dang good matchup against us, just because of Wing Attack doing neutral damage, and the pacing is terrible. As you see here, we call that Dragon Claw bait. I'm going to go for the Flame Charge, but this happens to just fire on CMP, so it never registered, but that's okay. What's going to happen here is I will shield, though, just because I want to be able to keep all of this energy on our Talonflame. What I normally do in this scenario is I will burb, and if they shield, I switch out. So we're going to burb. We're going to hit the burb, and they shield, which is absolutely terrible for us. I'm going to fire another Brave Bird just to grab both shields, because at this point, my best case scenario is hopefully they don't shield this, or 2, I'm able to grab that second shield and take this matchup to the zeros. We're managed to burp through shields, and it's absolutely amazing. Let's go. You weren't expecting the other one, weren't you? And then we send in our Umbreon against this Snorlax. Now, by any popular belief, since we do resist these licks, it's actually really great. But at the same time, it's like, that was really sweet. You technically lose the lead in that scenario if you aren't able to burp through shields like I did there, or if you're unable to bait both shields with Flame Charge. This Snorlax is going to do some heavy damage with this superpower, especially since it's Shadow. You know, the dark side of the force is very strong, and as you see, superpower is also very strong. It still isn't enough to take Thick Brayon into the yellow. And there's a Venusaur in the back, and this is absolutely terrible for my opponent because we got Obama Snow. When you didn't vote for Obama, guess what? In the winter, it will take you down. All I'm going to do in this scenario, though, is just fire off all these foul plays. We're going to eat a Frenzy Plant here and there. I still don't get how these freaking plants come from the ground and just blast you to death. But you know, that's what it is. This is Go Battle League. This is Pokemon Go PvP. And for some odd reason, commutating moves are super overpowered. And this freaking Frenzy Plant is about to do a ton of damage. Fun fact, Umbreon will actually live this Frenzy Plant. As you see here, in the yellow, Frenzy Plant still hit, but it takes it to the red. I switch out to Talonflame just so that I could probably try to farm down. And then just do some chip here. Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to send an Obama Stone farm down. Because this is pretty much game anyways. I send in Umbreon just to fire off a foul play and get this last shield. But I want to get the last shield and then just farm. I'm just being a little I'm just being fancy here. Because all you really have to do, as you see, we do manage to grab the last shield. And then their Snorlax looks us down. However, we're able to... We're in range. We're in range. We still have a shield. Obama Snow comes in. We have a fantastic matchup against that Venusaur. And fun fact, one Sludge Bomb from Venusaur does not kill an Obama Snow in the green. But Obama Snow isn't going to be in the green because it's going to take a little... Well, it's still in the green, but we're taking all this lick damage. All I'm going to do here is overcharge just a little bit to try to get 2 Weather Balls. And then what I'm predicting is this is like a superpower or a body slam. And it is a superpower. So because my opponent fired a superpower, which was a bad idea by then, all I'm going to do is double Weather Ball. I'm going to ball out like Steph Curry on the 2s. In the mid-range or from the logo. And all we're going to do is 1, 2, GGs. This first Weather Ball will go off. And then we should be able to fire the second one on the Venusaur in the back. And then that's GGs. Venusaur expended all that energy frenzy planning on our Umbreon before. So we know that Venusaur doesn't have 2 Frenzy Plants queued. 10,000 IQ plays. I'll freeze a little bit because I predict our opponent probably just like top lefted from this range because they're like, yeah, I'm dead. And sure enough, that's GG's. As you see, this team's still very, very powerful. Again, against Charizard, you technically lose the lead if it's Dragon Breath or Wing Attack. If it's Fire Spin, you can still make out of something, but you can't eat that Blast Burn. You can, but it's going to do a lot of damage. For battle number 2, we got Talonflame onto Nidoqueen. This is Queen. Queen will kill you with Poison Jab. Straight Poison Jab. Nidoqueen is a fantastic matchup against Talonflame. Especially the regular one, because the regular one has that extra bulk. So we are in a lot of trouble right now. This thing is going to straight Poison Fang us to oblivion. As you see here, it's just a blast, 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 blast. Tear lower our defenses. And we're going to try to just break as many shields as humanely possible here so that I can send Umbreon and Obama Snow in the back. And hopefully we can make this work. As you see here, we managed to grab 1 shield with a Flame Charge. And this is freaking amazing. Let's go. And then we're going to send in Umbreon in an attempt to be really, really fancy. This could work against our favor, though, because we gave up Switch. Poison Fang goes off. It's not going to do a ton of damage because Umbreon is just way too thick. And we get in Empoleon. So this is bad. Empoleon with a -1 Umbreon, these Hydro Cannons will chunk. So I have to be careful. As you see here, Foul Play goes off. It takes 3 Foul Plays to take out a Penguin. But we do have shield advantage, so not all hope is lost. As you see here, they're going to fire the Hydro Cannon. I elect a shield here, I believe, just because I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to preserve my HP, and plus, like, -1 Hydro Cannon will put me in the yellow, and I don't want to get to the point where I get farmed down. I want to get to the point where Hydro Cannon will actually kill me in 1 shot, so that's why I'm doing all this madness right now. Foul Play goes off. As you see here, I'm hoping to get 1 more off so that I could force that last shield, and my opponent kind of, like, misfires. And sure enough, they do. As you see here, this Foul Play will go off, and my opponent has to either elect to shield or let this Penguin go, which is a great scenario for us. Foul Play goes off, and as you see here, we grab the last shield, which is amazing. Now we're going to force this Penguin to fire off its energy, unless they get really greedy, and for some reason, they're like, you know what, I can get there before they get to 1, and no, that's impossible. Again, we wanted to get to 1 Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon goes off, which takes out our Umbreon. This is perfectly fine. We're going to send in our Snowman, and we're going to get a bazillion energy. As you see here, I'm just gonna farm it down completely. Yes, Powder Snow is double resisted, but you know what? Farm down plays are really great, and this Snowman is gonna go to town with all this energy in the back. As you see here, I'm just going straight for the farm down. We farm down a 2 Weather Balls worth of energy, and we're just vibing super hard right now. We get a Trevenant, which is absolutely terrible, and I have no idea why my opponent decides to, like, catch here anyways, because all I need to do is really just, like, save a Weather Ball for the Trevenant in the back. I'm going to double Weather Ball here just to take it out, this Nidoqueen out completely, and then I pretty much have full control of this matchup. Weather Ball goes off, and as you see here, I'm just going to switch into Talonflame, go for the Burb, and that's GG's. I still have a shield, so even to do fire the Seed Bomb, I will be able to shield this, and even if it's a Shadow Ball, I can still shield it for whatever reason. Go Battle, I took my soul and decided to give my opponent 50 more energy than he actually needs. There goes the Seed Bomb, and all I'm going to do is fire off the Burb, and that's GG's. Pretty sweaty matchup, just for the mere fact that Nidoqueen in a 2 shield is beastly against a freaking Talonflame, so Nidoqueen XL, she's the queen and she does real well, but not on this day. I take the W on this day. Again, still really powerful team. Nidoqueen XL is one of, I wouldn't say newer XLs that like coming to prominence, but you know, it definitely wasn't there for like the first year of Go Battle League. This one, we just win the solid lead. I always love seeing the A9 XL because I always think it's like the A9, Jellicent, and Scrafty XL team. And sure enough, it's not. And I'm actually pretty scared right here because the reason being is because the reason I'm staying in here is because Shadow Tramp actually trucks our back line. So I'm going to stay in here with Talonflame, try to grab some shields, try to make something hold out. We got a Cross Chop, but that's what sucks. So Shadow Champ is a beast, and one Rock Slide will KO you, but at the same time, Cross Chops do a ton of damage as well, just because it's a Shadow. As you see here, I'm going to be able to grab both shields. I'm hoping to be able to grab both shields here. And I'm going to try my best to, like, just farm it down. So the game plan kind of changed. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll fire to grab the second shield. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because it's a Shadow Champ, I can just burn it down, literal just like farm down and go up to 100. And then that's the game plan I have right now. We go up to 100, and then now I have 2 Flame Charges queued. And our opponent is going to have to eat a ton of damage. And I still have 2 fresh mons in the back. You may have 1 shield, but I have all the advantage in the world here. We get a Swampert. All I'm going to do is Brave Bird. This goes to a shield. It's great. If it doesn't, we're going to grab that last shield. And they managed to we grabbed their last shield, which is amazing. And then we get Ninetales. So the reason I'm sending in Umbreon, because Umbreon is essentially dead weight now. We don't need Umbreon alive. We can set up a farm down play with Talonflame. And we still have Abomasnow in the back. So we're still vibing pretty hard right now. Last Resort still chunks and A9 XL. So as you see here, it still does a ton of damage. So, well, not a ton, but a third is better than nothing, especially since we're about to eat a Dazzling Gleam from Living Hell. Yes, you are cute. Yes, you are adorable. Yes, you are pretty A9, but this freaking sucks when you hit an Umbreon with it because look at all that damage. Dang, girl. I don't know if that's a dude or a chick, but still, you know what? It still hurts. Dazzling Gleam on Umbreon, as thick as Umbreon is, it still hurts, and I have no idea why the hell it's still in the yellow. But you know what? It's my Umbreon. Last Resort will go off, and as you see here, you can still put their A9 in the yellow, despite the fact that they just Dazzling Gleamed us to death. This may be a Weather Ball. If it is, that's great. If not, that's okay. Because we need a Dazzling Gleam to kill here. As you see, Weather Ball does not kill. I still live with a little bit of HP. And we're able to fire off one more Last Resort. So the game plan here is to fire this off, and then hopefully I could switch into Talonflame, just burn down this freaking A9. But, you know, not everything goes into plan. So I switch into Abomasnow instead because they swap into their Swampert. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. Because all we're going to do is literally just ball out. Their A9 is so hurt that all I have to do is just really Energy Ball, OKO the Swampert, and then it's just going to take one fast move from whatever Pokemon I want to use to take out that A9, and that's pretty much GG's. As you see here, we fire off the ball, we ball out just like the double balls, and then this is going to take out that Swampert, a few more fast moves, and this A9 is history. This is likely just a Weather Ball, because there's no way in hell you have energy for a Dazzling Gleam. I call BS if you do. And it's a Weather Ball. As you see, Weather Ball just takes me red, but you know what? That Power Stone went through will KO, and that's GG's. Now, I love it when I get the A9 lead, because I'm like, oh, I think I know what you might have, but at the same time, burning down A9 XLs are so satisfying, because I don't have one yet. And we have such a hard loss lead. As you see, we got a Swampert lead, and this is terrible for us. So this is what you mean by, this is what King Charmander means by being hella fancy. I catch the Hydro Cannon. Super sweet play, super sweet play. However, what happens when you switch into an Umbreon? There's one option your opponent might have. Guess what? They're going to switch. And you know what they switch into? Wait for it. Wait for it. They're going to Bazillion Energy. Yes, they switch into either the Charmer or the freaking Machamp in the back. Luckily, I fire off the Last Resort and I'm like, okay, we're good. Be able to do some damage here. Let's go. Fire off that Last Resort. Hopefully we can do some chip, and we do. As you see, Last Resort still chunks quite a big deal of damage. Doesn't put in the yellow, but it does like a 30%. So that's still more than you can ask for, so it's not necessarily bad. You know what I mean? We're going to fire our Last Resorts consistently. We should be able to live this cross chop and fire one more Last Resort. This is either going to take a shield or our opponent's going to actually finally use their shields because this is still a rough matchup for them. As you see, Last Resort does go off and our opponent still doesn't elect to shield. I'm like, wow, okay. Well, this is interesting. What is your game plan, sir? We're going to send in Talonflame, trying to farm down here. They do get a move off. That's okay. More than willing to expend a shield so that I can just keep, yeah. So as you see, expend the shield, get that farm down, and then we're going to be able to have about a Blast Burn and a half to take out the back row. Our opponent still has 2 shields. They're going to fire Hydro Cannon here. I will not shield this, though. Here's why. So the reason I don't shield this is because if it's a shadow one, it'll kill you. If it's a regular one, Hydro Cannon will put you in the red. As you see here, you can survive 1. You can't survive 2. If Brave Bird goes through shields, this does heavy damage. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. The opponent elects to shield, and this is great because, as you see here, I have a freaking Dialga on my screen. I was insanely confused. I was like, am I in Master League? What is this? This is a Dialga. And the only reason I win this matchup is just because Obamastone outpaces Dialga, and Dialga is way less bulky in Open Ultra than it is in Open Masters. So it's like, why? Like, I have my eyes closed because I'm like, why? Why would you bring a Dialga to Open Ultra? I'm not going to question anything because when you question things, that means things go wrong. And as you see here, all I got to do is double ball out on this Swampert, and that's GG's. This was a very strange matchup. I was like, is that a Dialga? Like, my brain couldn't compute. I'm like, is that a Dialga? That's a Dialga. Am I in Master League? No, I'm in Ultra League. What the heck am I? What's a Dialga doing here? We can survive a couple of Hydro Cannons from Swampert, as you see here. I'm going to bait with Weather Ball and then fire the Energy Ball, which is technically a bad idea because you just go straight Energy Ball, double Energy Ball, because I'll be able to get to 2 anyways. We fire off the Weather Ball, and they don't fall for the freaking bait, and I'm like, really, dude? Wow. Okay, so that's perfectly fine because we can still eat 1 Hydro Cannon. I could grab the last shield with this Weather Ball, and then I'm going to send in Talonflame and Burb down. I know it's hella complicated, right? Like really, King of Charmanders, you're making this way harder than it had to be. And yes, I did make this way harder than it had to be because all I had to do was just Energy Ball, and we'd be done with this matchup already. We're going to ball out. They have to shield this one. I send in the Talonflame, and then I should be able to shield, make it to the second Brave Bird, and then just overkill this Swampert. As you see, we're going to get to the Brave Bird, and this is overkill, and this will KO this Swampert, and that's GG's. Again, I made that way harder than it had to be. Just needed an Energy Ball, but it's okay. Still got that dub. And now we got 1 more left, but you know what? That was a pretty sweet battle regardless. Made a lot of mistakes. Well, didn't make a lot of mistakes, but you know what? It's what it is. Legend on Legend action. We got Talonflame onto a Gengar. So, fun fact, I actually lose this in the 2 shield because of Shadow Punch. So, our opponent has to make 1 or 2 choices here. 1, they give up the Gengar, which I'm hoping they do. Or 2, they just straight Shadow Punches to death because, again, Gengar is a beast, and Gengar can take you out with Shadow Punches in the 2 shields. So, we're in trouble right now. As you see, I will shield the first Shadow Punch just so I feel comfortable. And then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to fire. That's an overtap, by the way. I did not intend on doing that. I'm going to eat this second Shadow Punch because I already fired off 1. So, can eat the second one pretty comfortably. It's going to put me in the yellow, but that's okay. As you see, it does put me in the yellow. And we're going to fire off this freaking Flame Charge. I'm hoping we the one it goes to or we're able to grab the shield. So, as you see, Flame Charge goes off. We don't grab the shield, they let it go, which is very strange. They're more than comfortable with just taking a shield advantage scenario. And I'm like, why? I'm like, oh, that's why. So, this is a Swampert. So, what I'm planning to do here is bait with the Flame Charge and then Burb. So, you can still get to 2 Burbs if you expend 1 shield, but it's just a safer play here. So, as you see, we're going to fire the Flame Charge, and hopefully they shield, because if they don't, this is really going to suck. And as you see, Go Battle League also sucks. We grab the shield, which is really nice, because now I can actually just let this Talonflame go, and then I can send in Obama Snow to line up. Hydro Cannon goes off, and then we should be able to send in our Abomasnow, and then we get a Clefable. So King of Charmanders almost royally screws this win condition. This is how good I am at this game, though. So I'm like kicking myself in the head, and I'm like, why did I auto switch? All I had to do is just lead the freaking Umbreon. Like, all I had to do is just like switch out, like just stay in. There's no reason to switch out with Abomasnow. So as you see here, this little Clefable is just gonna farm down my poor Umbreon, and we're in a lot of trouble right now. So now my win condition is I have to get 2 Weather Balls. So you're going to see just how amazing energy management can help pull the W for you. Last Resort goes off. And then all we're going to do is just watch my freaking poor Umbreon get charmed down. We have to overcharge here. So I'm going to have to get to 2 Energy Balls. I will shield this one because this Mirror Mash or Psychic will do a lot more damage than what that Swampert will do. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a little more energy. As you see here, I'm going to literally just farm a little bit above, and I'm like counting it. So just like 1 above. Even 1 is fine. I just want to take out this Clefable. I probably could have taken it out with a Weather Ball here, but then all I need to do is get to 2. And then as soon as 2 goes off, you're going to see Swampert comes in, and all we got to do is erase it with the Energy Ball, because unless this Swampert has Sludge Wave, this is GG's. They don't make it to their second move anyways. I'm guessing they're either one going for the double Earthquake or Earthquake and Hydro Cannon. As you see here, this will KO, and that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. Again, this team is still very, very powerful, so I hope you really enjoyed this showcase. Talonflame XL, Abomasnow XL, Umbreon XL is still a top team in Open Ultra League. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The point is, if you build a team that probably lasted for a while, or like some teams like have longevity, and this is one of them. Triple XL was just really baller and really strong back in the day. When I made this team, I was like, you know what, it's like I can tell this is gonna be like a top it's gonna be like a top team. But again, Abomasnow, Talonflame, and Umbreon were just so freaking powerful back in the day that I'm like, this isn't even like an original idea. This is literally just like super meta, and everyone's just gonna freaking play it, and boom, it's gonna freaking break Season 7, and then, yeah, well, yeah, Season 7, because Season 6, this Talonflame literally ruined my Season 6 top team, because I made number 2 on pvpoke.com with my Season 6 top team. And guess what? When Talonflame released, I was like, you know what? If I make a team that is like, as long as I avoid fire, I'm good, but I still got win cons against fire. And you know what freaking happens after that? Guess what? Talonflame releases, and then the stupid KFC Flying Albatross is now like the #1 lead in Pokemon Go freaking Open Ultra League, except when Trevenant came out. So then now it's not really #1 lead, but for the longest time, it was just so powerful. And just like, you know, if you've been playing for a while and you have this component, like Talonflame XL had a community day, Umbreon XL has had a community day, and has been out forever because Eevee's a Gen 1, and freaking Abomasnow, Snover, has had multiple events during the Christmas holidays where you can catch a bunch of Snover. In fact, I grinded a bunch during back when it was sunny, and then it was December. That's when I grinded and just got all my XL candy so I could build an XL Abomasnow. So I don't play that hardcore. I haven't done that like almost the entirety of this year. So, well, yeah, I haven't done that in a while just because of Rona, and a lot of my hardcore friends are busy, and now I'm trying to be a therapist, so you get what I'm trying to talk about anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just to show you that like top teams like this one, former top #1, can still last and can like last you a while if you're cheap on Stardust, or if you just want to play the same team over and over again. Some combinations can prove great, unless it's Hydreigon for Master League and freaking Zacian and all this other crap ruins your original strategy way back in Season 1, which was anti-meta, and now that meta is just I'm just done ranting. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a huge favor. You see next to these 2 Charmanders right here, there's a subscribe box. If you put your mouse above the subscribe box, you can easily subscribe from there. Really appreciate my current subscribers. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.